What's going on? It's Wednesday.
Hello and welcome back to another Waffle on a Wednesday, where I answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if you've got any questions for me, then please do feel free to leave your questions in the comments section of this video, and I will do my best to answer your questions next Wednesday. Now, I'd like to start by saying thank you to everybody that brought stickers last week through Buy Me a Coffee, and I've also sold quite a few t-shirts as well with my logo on, so thank you to everybody that brought t-shirts this week. I think it's a sign that summer is finally on its way, so thank you to everyone. And also I'd like to welcome all the new members to my channel. Thank you so much for joining my channel membership. Once again, I really do appreciate it, and it really does make a huge difference. Now, talking about members, let's read the first question, because that comes from a member of my channel. Hi Mel, I've missed a few videos, so time to catch up on them all. Are you visiting Camp Quirky or any other meetup this coming year? And that comes from Barmish EU. Thank you, Barmish, for being a member of my channel. I do hope you managed to catch up on all my videos. Now, generally I don't do meetups because I'm an introvert. I don't like crowds of people, and I'm not going to Camp Quirky this year for one simple reason. That is, a very good friend of mine, Michael from Whipperdeets Adventures, has got 4 whippets, and they've said to him he cannot take his 4 dogs to Camp Quirky, and I really don't agree with that. After all, if he had 4 children, he'd be more than welcome. So for that reason, I'm boycotting Camp Quirky. And as for other meetups, well, I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't really like to be around crowds of people. 1 or 2, 3 people maybe around my van having a look, I could handle that. But if I get like a lot of people coming around me, I'm really not comfortable, so that's why I don't do meetups. But if ever you do see me out on the road, then please do come over and say hi. That I really don't mind. And it's always good to see subscribers, but only 1 at a time. Or maybe 2. I hope that answers that question. And once again, thank you for being a member of my channel. Maybe I'll have a channel members meetup sometime during the summer. Let me know what you think. Now, here's another question from another member, and this is Davis Jones. Good waffle, Mel. Thank you. Where's the troll of the week? Thanks for the upload. Well, I don't always get a troll every week. I would say unfortunately, but it's not really unfortunate. I'm quite pleased with that. My technique of calling the trolls out seems to be working. Now, I wonder if we're going to have a troll of the week this week. You'll just have to carry on watching. Now, you know how much I love a quick question. Well, this is not one of them. Hi Mel, I know you say you live full-time in the van, but are you always parked on somebody's driveway? The lady next door has her van there. Are you living in the house doing van life 50-50? It's not a put down, Mel, just I know a few van lifers that say they are in full-time van life, but they are also staying at a girlfriend's house all week and in filming at the weekends. But keep up the good work. Cheers, Les. Well, thank you, Les. That is a really good question, and I did promise you that I would answer that question this week. Now, I can't speak for other YouTube channels, but if you enjoy the content they create, then what's the problem whether they live in their van full-time or whether they live in their van part-time? It doesn't really matter, as long as you enjoy the videos that they make. And if you don't enjoy the videos that they make, then watch my videos instead. But as for me living full-time in my van, yes I do. This is my full-time home. I have nowhere else to stay. I do not sleep in Bob's house, and the lady next door is Rebecca, Bob's daughter, as most of you know. And it just so happens that I've just finished editing a video, and I think I'm going to call that video A Day in Van Life. I basically take my camera with me for the day and I film my entire day. So if you want to see that video, then please do make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you've got the notification bell on, so that YouTube will notify you when I upload that video. It will more than likely be around about 9 o'clock Sunday morning. And I put a lot of work into that video, so I really do hope you enjoy. But to elaborate a little bit more on that question about whether you live in your van full-time or part-time, not everybody that lives in a van full-time perpetually travels. I mean, a lot of people need to work for a living. Only large YouTubers with, say, 50,000, 100,000 plus subscribers actually earn enough money from YouTube to be able to travel full time as well. I don't earn enough money from YouTube to perpetually travel and make videos, so that's why I just go off at the odd weekend now and again. And thanks to Bob's generosity allowing me to stay on his driveway, it allows me to create content and create videos instead of going to work and driving a truck for 15 hours a day. And that's why I really do appreciate Bob's generosity allowing me to stay on his driveway, because all the time I'm sat still in my van and I'm not driving my van, it's not costing me any money, because obviously the price of diesel nowadays is astronomical. And Mary, she's a thirsty old bird, and I don't get many miles to the gallon. I think I'm averaging about 23 miles to the gallon. But hopefully that will improve, because I've actually found out what was wrong with Mary, and all that will be explained again in this Sunday's video. So make sure you watch it. And again, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for the good question. Keep them coming. Now, Mike's Mobile Home asked a question that I should have answered last week, but I didn't answer this question last week because I wanted to give it a little bit more time so I could really test out my new antenna that I fitted. I should be pointing that direction. It's because my router is behind there. So Mike asks, "Hi Mel, great video as always." Thank you, Mike. "I wanted to ask, was it noticeably quicker uploading with your new antenna?" Well, Mike, it was absolutely unbelievably quick. The first time I uploaded the video, the actual antenna video, it was so fast I thought, I don't quite understand that, so let me do a few more just to put it to the proper test. Now usually I upload videos in 1080p, but my last video that I recorded, the one I'm talking about for next Sunday, I actually recorded in 4K to see how quick it would, or how slow it would be to upload it with my new antenna. And the last video that I recorded in 4K, it took pretty much a whole day to upload it, and it was such a long drawn out process. I've promised I'd never film anything in 4K ever again, but this video in 4K only took me 29 minutes to upload, so it's definitely a huge improvement. Breaking my old antenna was kind of a bit of a godsend in a way, so I'm really pleased with it, and I'm kind of pleased I broke it and upgraded. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. And if you haven't seen my antenna video that Mike is referring to, then I'll put a link above this video just for your convenience and your viewing pleasure. I'll also put a link to the antenna down below in the description of this video for anyone that's interested in getting a Wi-Fi antenna. I really do 100% recommend that antenna, and it's not too expensive either. Thanks for reminding me to answer that question. Now, a couple of weeks ago on a Waffle on a Wednesday, somebody asked if you had to buy 2 tickets if you were taking up 2 spaces in a car park due to the size of your van. Well, the Adventures of Lano has answered that question by actually asking a traffic warden. "Hi Mel, I found a traffic warden today and asked her regarding the question on taking up 2 spaces in a van on a pay and display car park. You must pay for 2 spaces. Your lad's caddy is stunning, thumbs up." Well, thank you, Adventures of Laro, and he isn't the only person to comment and say that they'd actually asked the traffic warden, and every time they come back with the same answer: if you take up 2 spaces in a car park, then you must pay for 2 spaces by buying 2 tickets. Good luck to anyone that does that, and fingers crossed you don't get a parking ticket, but if you do, please don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger after all. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, and that is this week's Troll of the Week.
Troll of the Week.
Well, calling Simon Blackburn Troll of the Week I think is a little bit unfair. It's really my fault because I've left Simon feeling a little bit unfulfilled. And he says, "So your video had absolutely nothing to do with can van life survive, other than there are 2 poles and diesel is going up. I've been subscribed for over a year, but I hate clickbait. I've unsubscribed." Well, Simon, I'm sorry to see you go, and the chances are he's not watching this video anyway because he's unsubscribed. So I can pretty much say what I like, right? But the fact of the matter is, all thumbnails are essentially clickbait. After all, that's their job. Their job is to grab your attention and get you to click on the video. So I make no apologies for my thumbnails. I think my thumbnails have actually improved over the years. Well, I hope they have anyway. But like I say, they are there to grab your attention. And there are thousands of YouTube channels in this niche of van life. literally thousands. I'm competing against thousands of other YouTube videos, and that's why it's essential that my thumbnails stand out from the crowd. Otherwise my videos will just get lost in the huge bowl of YouTube soup. Nobody would actually see them and I'd be wasting my time. I'd essentially be talking to myself. Well, I'm not, I'm talking to you guys. And I appreciate you listening to my waffle on a Wednesday. And the reason you're watching my waffle on a Wednesday is because you clicked on that thumbnail. And for that, I am really grateful. And I do hope you're not as disappointed as Simon is. Now, it's also nice to see other people coming to defend me as well. So I'm going to read out some of the comments that you put on Simon's comment. Interesting viewpoint. It's a waffle on a Wednesday. Not Mel gazes into his crystal ball and reads the future Wednesday. What did you expect him to be able to say? And that comes from Dan Huff. Thank you. Well said, says Jason Edwards. And then Simon responds to Doug Huff. I expected him to have a viewpoint that was in line with the video title. Well, Simon, I did actually have quite a specific viewpoint concerning whether or not van life can survive, and that is it can survive as long as van lifers learn to adapt. As and when fuel prices increase, so does the general cost of living, so therefore the cost of rent goes up along with the cost of fuel, so it all kind of stays neutral really, but nevertheless it will always be cheaper to live in a van than it would be to live and rent an apartment. I do hope that clarifies things. And Simon, just in case you do actually see this video, then please do leave a comment in the comment section so that everybody knows you've seen this video and that you accept your award as Troll of the Week, even though it weren't really quite a trolling comment. Thanks for being such a good sport. And if you do resubscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next week. Do you or have you used a route planner that is set up for larger vehicles so you are avoiding height restrictions? Thanks Mel, Howard and Joanne. And Howard and Joanne left that comment on the video that I made about when I smashed the aerial off the roof of my van. If you haven't seen that video, it is quite entertaining. I'll put a link above this video for your convenience and your viewing pleasure. And to answer your question, Howard and Joanne, yes I do. I have a truck nav. Because I'm an ex-trucker, I use this TomTom truck navigation device. It's basically a regular TomTom, but I can put in the weight of my vehicle, the height of my vehicle, and also an important factor, the width of my vehicle as well. Unfortunately, I wasn't using this on the day that I smashed the aerial off my roof. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting one of these because they are really expensive, or they used to be when I bought this. I didn't get much change out of 500 quid, but I do use it when I'm driving Mary, and I still need to reset this, the new height actually. Thanks for reminding me to do that. Now, there is a cheaper alternative to getting a sat nav, and that is one of these truckers atlases, and I highly recommend getting one of these because not only does it tell you the height and width restrictions and the weight restrictions of roads around the UK, it also tells you where all the truck stops are. Well, there's loads of stuff in there that you can easily translate into van life. Highly recommend getting one of these, and I will leave a link in the description of this video if I can find one of these on Amazon. There are smaller versions, but I like this big one because you just get more in it, I guess. It's easier to read. But let me just show you what I mean. Let's find the page. There you go. So on this page it shows you the truck stops and transport cafes. I'm not supposed to copy it, but if I hold it there long enough, you may be able to screenshot it. But don't tell anyone I did that. I might get in trouble. Thanks for the great question. Hi Mel, probably not a quick one. Oh dear. I would be interested in your thoughts of how you would treat the Schengen rule that is currently in place should you want to go on an extending tour around Europe, say for a year. All the best, Shane. And that comes from Shane at Adventure. Well Shane, that's a brilliant question, and I've got to say I have absolutely no intention of going to Europe for more than 2 weeks, maybe on my annual holiday. Not this year anyway. But if you are struggling to understand the Schengen rule, then I highly recommend watching this video up here that Camper Vibe made. They explain the Schengen rule absolutely superbly, far better than I ever could. So I do highly recommend watching their video. I'll put a link up here and I'll put a link down there to their YouTube channel. After all, they are from my home county of Kent, so they definitely get a thumbs up from me. Talking about thumbs up, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And don't forget, this weekend's video will be published at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, and I've put a lot of work into it, so I really hope you hang around to watch that video. Now, I'd like to thank everyone on behalf of Rebecca for all their get well soon messages that they've left. It's been extremely kind of you, and she is ever so grateful, as am I. So thank you to everyone that has sent Rebecca and her family get well soon messages. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to Rebecca's channel, then please do by clicking the link here. And if you're new to my channel, then click the link up here where you can subscribe to both of our channels. Remember, it is completely free. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now.